I wish I could take credit for that, but Ontario had already done something similar. So they had a similar type of plan and had opened it up already. So maybe that was one of the drivers of us doing this. So I can't honestly say it's the first in Canada, but I think it's incredibly important to Nova Scotians. And there's really very clear benefits for the public service superannuation plan will benefit from becoming larger and more efficient. It'll gain efficiency as there's more money under management and more people participating. The employers will gain a benefit from not having to manage a pension plan themselves and all of the concerns that come with that, but having a very well-managed, well-governed pension plan. And obviously employees will benefit from knowing that they can trust the pension plan. It's not in the hands of their employer, but in the hands of this public service superannuation plan. So it benefits all throughout this, and it will strengthen the plan. So we see it as a win-win-win for qualifying employers and qualifying pension plans. So there are certain rules around who can join. There will be, obviously the employees will have to vote on it. The employers will have to qualify, and the public service superannuation plan trustee will also have to approve. So there are some regulations involved in that joining the plan, Bill. But this is sort of building on. We hope that a plan for our economy and trying to look after our people, affordability. There was changes made in September of last year that were announced that allow employers to participate at different rates. So one of the challenges was that the standard participation rate might have been too difficult or too challenging for employers and employees. So they can join at lower rates if they want, and at 80% of the rate. So that's an important change. So there's things like that. We also announced, just if I can continue on, providing more pension flexibility, and that was just before the election was called in November, but we announced that people can take up to 50% of their pension funds that are locked in. They can pool them out for something like a down payment on a home or something important if they want to, a one-time thing that they can do, which again is something that is mirroring other jurisdictions and allowing people more flexibility with their pensions. So we're taking steps to try to enable stronger pensions for Nova Scotians.
Interesting too. The pension plans are very much like insurance plans. In fact, over the centuries or over the decades, insurance companies were often involved in both providing pension plan services as well. And the whole concept is simple. You pool your resources. More people put money into the plan. It gets invested so that it can help to grow the plan. And when time comes to retire, there's money there to provide that cushioning for the balance of your lifetime. Now, it's a pretty straightforward idea, except there's been a lot of concern in recent years, both with even the Canada pension plan, that with the baby boomers going through the system and all arriving at the bank door at the same time, that there are plans where there's concern there's not enough money there to keep funding it. Is that part and parcel of your concern about the private sector, or is this also benefiting to make this a stronger plan for the province as well?
Well, I will say that the public service superannuation plan is seen as a very strong plan already. It has $8 billion in assets and 44,000 members. It is fully funded. So there's not a concern about the PSSP plan. In terms of corporate or private employers and in pension plans, there it's I can't really comment on that. You'd have to look at each one individually. I do think that generally speaking, private pension plans that would qualify to join and would join, I think the employees would feel that would have a strong sense that the public service superannuation plan is a very well managed, very well supervised plan. So I can see it giving employees confidence. As far as the Canada pension plan, is my understanding that is solvent, a very well managed plan as well, Bill.
Well, I appreciate that. You talked earlier about who can get in on this plan and how the employees that are part of an existing private plan would have to agree. So they would vote on it, as you said. But I'm wondering, is this the kind of thing that really is only going to be open to large companies with their private plans?
No, but it is something that will be subject to like a three-way approval. It'll require the approval of the employer, the approval of the employees, and also the public service superannuation plan trustee. So the trustee, the PSSP, will have to approve the pension coming in. So obviously that means there'll be some oversight at that moment. What are the assets coming in? What are the liabilities of that plan? How many people are participating? So there will be some pretty strong oversight at that moment. I think it is not the intent of the public service superannuation plan to weaken the plan that we already have. This will be for well-managed plans already.
And I can see certainly that, as I said, the pooled resources is the foundational idea behind pension plans and insurance programs. So the bigger it is, usually, the better it is. It's as simple as that, is it not?
Well, if you can imagine, if there's $8 billion in management, right now there's $8 billion in assets in the public service superannuation plan. They probably would not have to add any staff to manage $9 billion, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So indeed, the plan becomes more efficient as it becomes larger.
Now, the large always seems to take care of itself, and I wonder, thinking of my own background here, the number of people perhaps self-employed and the small entrepreneurs over the years who didn't have any pension plan at all and rely entirely on the Canada pension plan. There's no wiggle room in any way, shape, or form in this proposal to allow them to come in on this, is there not?
Well, I think that the employer-employee shared pension plans that are out there, it's not really about how big or how small they are. It's more about sort of what are the numbers in the actual plan. So I would say that that is a decision of the public service superannuation plan trustee. So it's not necessarily. It's just about making sure that solvent plans join the plan.
Now, does this cost the province anything to bring others into the program?
No, it does not, no.
So as Minister of Finance, you can give it your wholehearted support.
Many things cost the province money, you're right.
Well, having said that, as I mentioned, we just talked with Minister Comer about the new program for mental health and a $10 million expenditure to get this off the ground and looking for billing administration and so on. Have you got some figures to cost that out, where that goes as it becomes a full-time member of the public health system?
I really don't. I mean, this was one of our campaign promises, really a commitment from the 2021 campaign that we would work towards universal access to mental health services. It's a major issue. As far as that, I look upon the cost. What is the cost of mental health issues in our province? Anyway, there's a massive cost in lost productivity and lost lives and lost challenges for individuals. So we want to do everything we can as a government to enable good mental health services. So yes, these things cost. As far as the actual details of Minister Comer's plan, I don't have them in front of me at the moment, Bill, but I can't tell you how important it is to us.
Well, once again, I have to say and admit fully that you guys have been extremely, extremely creative in the crisis with healthcare generally. The Premier, of course, leading the charge, saying, give me ideas. Nothing is stupid. Nothing is crazy. Nothing is off the wall. We'll explore anything new. And here you are opening up the pension plan. Here you are paying for mental health. Here you are doing all kinds of new things that most governments in the past would have shied away from. because the bill today is one thing, but you're creating a bill for tomorrow as well. So I need to applaud you for your creativity and your courage. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate the compliment, Bill, and I appreciate you know, all of those things. You're right. I really appreciate you saying so.